We just got back from Portland and Port Orford, and I took a lot of footage, so you'll get to see that over a period of time. But what I like to tell you here is that we lived in Port Orford. After 8 years, we sold our house, and I needed to move to a bigger city like Portland so I could fly through an international airport from north, east, west, and south. Port Orford was about 6 hours from Portland, the nearest airport. So that was not possible. So we sold our house in Port Orford. We took what little equity that we had and we went to Portland, and we knew we couldn't get a house through a bank. They wouldn't touch us with a 10-foot pole because you just can't loan money to an evangelist, because when they ask you what kind of money you get, you go, I don't know. And I don't know how often we get it. We go by faith, we live by faith, and we don't know how much money we're going to get. It's all by faith. And they go, well, we don't live by faith. We live by hard, cold cash. We need steady income. And so we found, by the grace of God and the leading of the Holy Spirit, Mr. and Mrs. O'Neill, people of faith, that told the realtor, for this one couple will do owner-carry contract, but don't bring us any other. So to make a long story short, this house that you see behind me here was the home that we were going to purchase on North Chase. And we were so excited. It was a real home. The one in Port Orford was a cottage, but this was the real McCoy. It was beautiful. And we were going to do this by faith, but something happened that we didn't know what in the world we were going to do. And I'm going to take you now to Portland and pick up the story and share with you the Christmas miracle that took place that allowed us to get into this home. So this was the most amazing thing that happened. They said at the signing, and they just threw it out like, would you like a drink of water? They said, oh, because of the tax structure and the back taxes and Mr. O'Neill having paid the taxes and you're buying the house in the middle of the year, you owe them back taxes. I mean, that all was gobbledygook to me because I didn't know anything about this. We were new home buyers. And so I said, well, what does that mean? They go, well, by Monday, that means Sunday, Christmas Day, the Monday, the next day after Christmas, since the banks will now be open, you just have to go and cut a check and get Mr. O'Neill $800. You might as well have said $80,000 when you don't have a single penny and you have got this right down to the wire. Where in the world are you going to get $800? But I heard the still small voice of the Lord, and I felt that the Lord was saying to me, just be still. Don't say yay, don't say nay. Just let me deal with it. And so I didn't say, I can't come up with $800. And I didn't say, oh yeah, we'll get the $800. I was just very troubled. And I left the place quiet. And Marilyn was very troubled. And we went to sleep at Al Mendenhall's house. I'll show you that in a picture in just a few minutes, because we're going there next. It was about 1 or 2 miles from here. And Al Mendenhall, our dear friend, put us up with our RV in the backyard. And so I did have a place to lay our head in a motorhome. We'd already sold our Port Orford home. And so we went to bed that night in the backyard. And it was so amazing because after going to sleep, I was troubled about 3 in the morning. I didn't know where I was going to get this $800. This is now Christmas morning, imagine that. And so about 6 or 7 o'clock, I couldn't wait any longer. I knocked on the back door of Al Mendenhall's house. He answered the door. He was up fairly early because it's Christmas morning. Kids want to open their presents. It was around, I want to say, 7 o'clock, just getting light. And I told him my dilemma. And of course he knew it. And we prayed a little bit. Meanwhile, I didn't know, but Marilyn, she was also feeling very troubled. And she didn't sleep at all throughout the night, a fitful sleep. Where are we going to get $800? Just then, we get a phone call. And it's a man on the other line named Jim Cornelius. And Jim said, listen, we heard through the grapevine that you have just purchased a house. Would you consider renting it? Man, renting it. That was a brilliant idea. I was about to go on a 3-month evangelical tour of the States. I go, yeah, sure, we'll rent it. He says, I want to come over and see it because we got a job right there at a hospital nearby, and I can ride a bike. It's so close, and it sounds perfect. We'll meet you in front of the house. I go, sure. So I had no idea who this person was, total stranger. So Al and I jumped in the car, and the kids are going, Daddy, Daddy, can we open up the presents now? No, no presents, no Christmas, because we got to go look at the house and show it to somebody. And they're looking at you like, on Christmas Day, you're not going to let us open presents? I go, no, this is very, very important. They, of course, they're kids. They don't understand nothing. His children, my 2 children, they didn't know what to think about us. So we got in the car, we drove over here. And Jim comes out, likable man, Christian man. We walk around the house, and he goes, I'll take it. And I didn't know what to say. Well, thank you. And I told him, well, listen, it's only going to be about 3 months. He says, that's just a short term we want because we're looking for a place to buy. And we just need a little window of opportunity. Like, could you believe God sent this man on Christmas Day for a little window, and that's all we had? But this was the clincher. I had to come up with $800 the very next morning. So without me saying anything, I said, listen, we would like to rent the place, and we're thinking, and we said sheepishly, like $800 a month. $800 a month? Because I thought he'd give us $400 for the down payment, like right away. And on his own, he goes, I might as well just give you $800. I'll give you first and last month's. And God right there in that moment did a Christmas miracle on Christmas Day when banks are closed and no one does financial transactions. I had in my hand the $800 I had to give to Mr. O'Neill the next day. God is faithful and answers specific prayer. He's the God of detail. Nothing escapes him. And that is to encourage you that you can trust God. Where God guides, he will provide. I leave you with this word to pause and ponder.